welcome back to the show. This is Charlene live on 99.1 FM, and we are actually in Las Vegas. I know our station is in Salt Lake City, 105.9 and KNRS News Radio. But today we are covering the big event, the Takeover from Las Vegas, hosted by none other than Raul Paul with Real Vision. The whole crew is here. Tons of people are here. If you know anybody who's big in crypto, they're here today. And I have none other than Alexander. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
How's the event going for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing to see all these people that we watch on YouTube actually in person.
Yes, isn't it fascinating? We can touch and feel.
Yeah.
Oh man, no more Zooms.
No more Zooms.
But if you are online watching the event as well, and you're caught my streaming, welcome to the show. This is Charlene live on the radio, broadcasting from Las Vegas. But if you want to catch up with some of the speakers, I think there's a lot going on Twitter feeds. It's all over the place. It's a really big deal. Raul Paul is very important in this space, and bringing all these people together in one house and talking about like where we're heading. Everybody knows where we're at. Everybody knows where we've been. But for me to hear where we're heading was really fascinating. We're tokenizing communities. We're tokenizing culture. We're tokenizing our individual worth. What have you been gleaning from this conference so far?
I think it adds more clarity to a relatively clouded picture for a lot of us. I think we all have an idea and a curiosity around where things are going to go. I think we all believe that the big daddy in the room is Bitcoin, and that is not going anywhere. That's the foundation of it all. And then you have ETH, which solves a lot of other kind of cool software problems around DeFi and tokenization, like you were talking about. What I've been kind of gleaning, and I love to use that word, from the last couple of months, really, is the tokenization of communities and creating almost like mini states. Like bringing a little mini digital nations together almost. And that's something that I find really fascinating.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about bringing communities together in little states or pockets. You're in real estate. You're with EXP Realty.
Yeah.
And how is that model? You were telling me earlier about a different model of real estate brokerage houses and breaking down those barriers.
Yeah.
Explain that to our audience.
Well, it fits really amazingly, and our founder, Glenn Sanford, came up with the idea for a virtual-based real estate company in 2009. So this thing came out in 2009, right? Like, so to have the vision of a virtual company before there was Zoom, before it was like FaceTime was just nobody was even using it. Yeah, so kind of a very visionary place. We have a virtual world. It's on a technology. It's called Verbella. It's really an avatar-based world. So so we are a disruptive company. When I got into the company in 2016, we were 7,600 agents. We just eclipsed 70,000, and it's not a franchise model. So the old legacy models of the Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, those are legacy models. Century 21, Sotheby's, Prudential. Those are legacy models that are franchises. EXP is agent owned, so it's actually traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and it has a metaverse, which now I didn't even realize that word mexverse is
Facebook stole.
Yeah. I mean, now Google's talking about it, and Axie Infinium, Roblox, like these are metaverses, and so EXP has a metaverse. And so that's how the company can service the agents, train the agents, support the agents, and empower the agents
at a fraction of the cost.
And you can scale it. So we grew through COVID, where a lot of brick and mortar died.
Yes, because agents still want to keep their business models or preserve their business model even during the downturn, but they don't want to fork out those high monthly or commission or fees that they have to pay to their brokerage houses. Now, because of this shift, you talk about 2009, now we're at 2021, but the world has completely changed. Now everything's going to be on the blockchain. Are those mega corporations, the Keller Williams, the Coldwell Bankers, are they shaking in their boots, or you think the rug's going to be literally pulled out from under them before they realize what's going on?
I think it's going to be a slower thing to deteriorate. I don't think it's going to go as quickly as Blockbuster did. So Netflix really destroyed Blockbuster within a couple of years. Uber destroyed Yellow Cab within a couple of years, 3 or 4 years. And once it reached the tipping point where it got so big and they had so much market share, they're gone. Real estate doesn't move, the market doesn't, or the industry doesn't change very, very quickly.
Because, of course, it's a regulated industry.
Yeah, there's that, but it's also the agents it's the agents that are going out there doing the business, right? So with Yellow Cab, you could change it with technology very, very quickly.
New people in.
Yeah, well, you had a Yellow Cab as a franchise. You buy a medallion for $250,000. Now somebody could get a locator, become an Uber driver like that overnight.
Just sign up.
Real estate agents that are good, especially, don't become good real estate agents overnight.
Right.
It's their business.
Right.
So to have that change, they have to. Which, real estate agents they're entrepreneurs, but they're always not great business people. I mean, I say that because I wasn't before as well. But I think that it is changing slowly, and we're going like this, and the other companies are going like this. We're branching out into other countries, like you and I had a kindred spirit in that for, the tokenization of real estate in other countries. You can grow so much faster through this medium rather than having brick and mortar.
We've learned at this conference, we'll be talking about things like technology and how technology is reducing the friction that usually exists in the business and in different industries. Welcome to the show, guys. This is Charlene, live on 99.1 FM, broadcasting out of Las Vegas. I was going to say Salt Lake City. That's our home station, but we actually drove down here to Vegas. It was a fun ride. I was driving down, and I was leaving the snow behind me. And as I got closer to Vegas, it got warmer and warmer. And speaking of warmth, if you want some Bitcoins in your pocket, remember to text my number, and I will send you a couple of the wallets that I'm promoting for some of these coin companies here. They're giving away free Bitcoins, but not for long. The number is 801-299-9105. 801-299-9105. If you don't text me, you will not be able to get the links to download the wallets to get the free Bitcoins. And what you do is you download the wallets, sign up for an account, deposit the minimum required balance, and they'll top you up, not in cash, because cash, we know that's going away. They're going to top you up in Bitcoin, so your initial top-up can grow over time. And the next thing that I'm excited about, and I want you to think about this, is in real estate, you have to do your continuing education courses. But I'm doing a certificate course at Utah Valley University in blockchain. And we're starting that in January. So I'm doing actually 2 courses. We're doing the Bitcoin basics, the blockchain basics courses of what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, what is all this talk. But then I'm also doing an advanced course for people already in Bitcoin, already in the space, and we're issuing a university certificate to say you know about it, you can go ahead and teach other people. So the basics ones, I'm issuing a yellow belt certificate, as in karate. And the advanced class will be a black belt certificate. So we get a Bitcoin black belt certificate. So all the people here, if they come to my conference in April, would be getting a black belt certificate to take home with them. So that's how I do things. So you come with me, you leave with something positive. But another positive thing I'm finding out here at Raw Paul and Real Vision's thing is they're kind of they're not really geared to beginners of crypto. All the people here are already into crypto, and they're trying to figure out which projects, which coins, what projects they really need to jump into. These guys love to make money. What projects have you heard about so far that you're like, man, I need to get into this? Anything piqued your interest?
Um, for me, we talk about the risk curve, right? So
Yeah.
I started out with a Coinbase account in 2017. So there was only, I think, five. It was like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then they started adding a few more. So it's like going out on the risk curve. So for me, I'm pretty heavy on the first couple, and now I've gone out into Solana and so forth. So I'm now looking. I'm very, very interested in the DeFi space. So I just got out of a class about DeFi, and the yields that these guys are making is insane. When they were talking, like it literally is going. Woo! But I think that anybody out there, it's going to go like that at first until you continue to just keep. It's like anything, practice, learning more and more and more. So for me, to answer your question directly, I'd really like to learn more about these DeFi spaces, and get a little further out with some stable coins and earning some yield. And so that's something that I'm going to take away, that I really need to go and kind of dig into some more to learn more.
Yes. And speaking of stablecoins, okay, so everyone has heard about cryptocurrency, or if you've been under a rock and you just woke up, cryptocurrency is what's taking over the digital marketplace in terms of banking, financial investments, financial tools to trade with. And so we're used to cash and credit cards. Now we're going digital, where you can use your Apple phone or your Apple Pay, and you can tap and you can swipe. So there's digital currencies and digital coins are in what we call wallets, and as soon as you get a wallet, you can basically buy and sell other crypto coins. It depends on which ones you like, which ones you prefer. You said you're into the earlier coins, like the first ones that came out, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, and now you're looking into some of the more popular ones, the Cardano,
Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche.
Right. And then we have what's called stable coins. Now, stable coins are it's the same cryptocurrencies, but they're kind of aligned with the US dollar. So say you had $100 today and you bought a stable coin like a USD, tomorrow you'll still have $100. If you were to take that $100 and buy, say, some Bitcoin, it could go up 30%, it could go down 30%. So if you have a savings account, they have $1,000 in your bank is going to pay you what, 0.005% over a year. You could put that $1,000 in a stable coin, and they're offering you 20 to 30% interest, and they're paying this interest on it. Some of them are paying daily. So you'll see your $1,000 becoming 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, as opposed to having that $1,000 in a bank. And most of these banks, you got to pay $15 a month to have an account anyway. So you're already down, $985. So a lot of people are now moving out of regular banks into stablecoins. What that has done, I think it's threatened the whole banking industry. So if you hear on the news that stable coins and they're trying to regulate them, because now that's a direct threat where people can make more interest on their same money without actually buying other cryptocurrency coins. Now, how do you think this response that a stable coin is going to go? Are we going to see a crackdown on stable coins, or are we going to see explosion in stable coin?
I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a tough one to say.
Right? Nobody knows.
I think that to the first part of what you brought up, it is a threat.
Yes.
So that is what's concerning to me about the whole space. That being said, I think it's too big. I think that
too big to fail.
I think that it's too big, and if they over-regulate, it's like that Goldilocks, getting the porridge just right.
Yes.
Who's going to regulate this? Regulation's important. And then you do want to have, I think that this is something, if we get the right people in there to create the right policies, then it can grow and still be safe so that there's less scams out there and less people, can get duped. So I think the regulation's important in that regard. But if it gets over-regulated, then it's going to stifle growth. So it's kind of
And
finding
you know what
that.
I think too, Alex, is I think it's just posturing. I think the banks and the financial industries, they really love stable coins, but it's not their own. They didn't create it. And so they're posturing until they create their own coins in their own bank. So like a Wells Fargo or a Chase is going to come out with a Chase coin, and then they're going to offer you 5% interest, as opposed to 25% on a crypto network.
Yeah. I think that once you do that, that's a great point. So you kind of want them to get in.
Yes.
And that's, you're talking, those are not going to be CBDCs. So that become right from the Fed, a central bank digital currency, which is what China is doing. And you know, that the problem with those central bank digital currencies is they become very surveillance and very restrictive. You know, that you can.
And you know what they're doing with the CBDC coins is they're issuing 5-to-1. So say a bank has $1 million on their balance sheet, they'll give them $5 million in these supposed stable coins. So that's already going to create this big inflation, which cryptocurrency is supposed to be deflationary, but they're already pumping it. Fivefold.
Yeah, it's just that, I mean, there already is. Most of the dollars are digital.
Yes.
Right? So you're just creating a copy of something that already is being copied and counterfeited.
Yes.
When you really understand it, it's really insidious in a way.
It's a maze. It's a mind maze. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Charlene live on 99.1 FM, broadcasting from Las Vegas, Sin City. But we're not doing any sinning. We're just talking crypto. We're talking blockchain. We leave the sin for the other people out there. Now, one of the key things to understand about cryptocurrency is it's not just a currency, a mode, a type of money. It's actually a technology. And we're hearing about technologies that we haven't even conceived of before. And as far as you talk about DeFi, what DeFi really is decentralized financial tools that people can trade with without having to go through some of the regulations, a little bit of regulations still. But what other technologies, like we have Facebook just changed their name to Meta. We're talking about NFTs as a new technology where if you have anything you create, you can basically sell it digitally on the blockchain. How is this going to revolutionize other things in terms of this NFT technology, this blockchain technology? What other applications can you see coming forward using this?
I think that ultimately what we're going to see is the tokenization of everything.
Yes.
You're going to see the digitizing of everything. And you're talking about everything being in the financial markets, $700 trillion. But never mind that, even just a sports team, music, art. So it's disrupting all of those.
Real estate. Let's talk about real estate.
Yeah.
Where do you see real estate going in terms of cryptocurrency, blockchain?
I see first probably in the title market.
Yes.
Title
searches are a nightmare.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. And once you put it on the blockchain, why should you have to pay? And I have some really good people that are title friends out there, and they help us out. But I just don't see that. I talk about friction and talk about waste. Why do you have to pay title insurance every time you transfer a title? If it's immutable, then you can say, here's the chain, and anything that's added to it, if it's a mortgage, if it's a lien, if Cousin Joe says, no, that's mine, and it's in probate or whatever, I just don't see why you should pay those massive premiums on getting title insurance on every property. Well, at least in Florida. It's not regulated in every state. So, every time it changes hands, I think it's just a money grab. I think it's wasteful. And I think that, once you tokenize it, I think there's going to be less friction. And I think it's going to be a cleaner deal.
So you talk about paying for title insurance. What about mortgage insurance? How are mortgages going to be? Same thing.
I mean, once you put it on the blockchain, it's immutable. And we're talking about veracity, basically is the accuracy of what is being put on the chain. As long as that has high fidelity, and fidelity is the data. So as long as that data is clean and true, those industries are going to go rather quickly. So, I mean, even take, for instance, now, if you meld those worlds, like take our company, EXP, take those 70,000 agents, and now you tokenize within our community. So we already are traded on the New York Stock Exchange, so there's value there to stay with the company. There's a revenue share, so there's another piece of value. Now, this network is going to grow even more if you have a tokenization. So, right, so you've been with the company for a certain amount of time. Maybe you don't have to sell a bunch of property, but you've been with it for 5 years. You all of a sudden get these tokens, so you get a commission difference, or you get some kind of more of revenue share, whatever it might be.
The community itself has intrinsic value, not just a commodity they're trading.
Right, and then you gamify it. Right, so the longer you stay in, like, or if you've been in for this amount of time and you've brought this many people, you get this many more tokens that you can then use and work with, reward. And then what my real interest is, now you get these, if you can start to create a cross chain where you have the mortgage, which we have as well, but that becomes blockchain, and then you get tokenization into that as well. It's just, man, it opens up so many doors.
Yes, what blockchain does and what this technology is doing, it's, like I said, reducing the friction of entry for a lot of people, but also for those who are already in the industry, like real estate. How do they tokenize and maximize those relationships and that time that they've already invested? Can you? I guess on the blockchain you go forward, but essentially you could create a blockchain in reverse that rewards you for your past experience, your past input, your past contributions. And it'd be interesting to see that. I'm looking at real estate tokenization in separating the bundle of rights and tokenizing occupancy rights, tokenizing equity rights, tokenizing water rights, mineral rights, all the different rights associated with that. Folks, everything's happening so fast. We cannot even keep up with what's happening here in one day at the Takeover event in Las Vegas, hosted by Real Vision, Raul Paul and his pals, and all the crew there. A special thank you to everyone for tuning in, for watching. This is Charlene live on 99.1 FM, broadcasting normally out of Salt Lake City, but today we're in Vegas live at the Takeover event. A couple housekeeping items. If you want some free Bitcoins, if you have Bitcoins already, there's no person that I have met that don't want more Bitcoins. So if you don't have any, it's a great way to get in. One of the wallets, a couple of the wallets that I'm promoting will offer you some free Bitcoins to sign up with their wallets and download their apps. And to get those links, you've got to text me, because I only send these out by text. The number is 801-299-9105. 801-299-9105. Alex has been on the show with us. He's with EXP Realty. That's a network of real estate agents that work together, build a community, and the cost of entry for those agents really small, but they still get their same commissions, right?
Yeah, we have a standard 80-20 split, and up to a $16,000 cap. So it's very fair. That's another thing that I like about it. There's no cutting deals. It's a publicly traded company. So there's no, hey, you are a multi-million-dollar producer, so you get this higher. It's a new agent gets the same. It's very similar to blockchain. Everybody starts fair,
equal
equitable,
share.
Equal share. Right? Like, that's free market.
And you work harder, you put in more time, you make more that way. But I really appreciate being in the space in the blockchain and talking with a lot of so many great minds, so many great ideas coming out of this conference. And we are going to make sure that each of our listeners and each of our viewers has the opportunity to learn about these things. I mentioned the class that we're teaching at Utah Valley University. That starts January semester, and it's going to be two classes, one for beginners, an introduction to cryptocurrency, and then we also have the advanced class for those already in cryptocurrency who want some accreditation, and we have an accredited certificate that we will issue to you for taking the advanced class. And for everyone, you always can get more Bitcoin, so text me and I will send you links to the wallets that I'm promoting for free Bitcoins. The number to text is 801 299 9105. And also sign up now and register for the Utah Bitcoin Conference that's coming up in the spring. And if you want free tickets, actually, they're not that free. It's 2 for 1. So you register for one ticket, and I will add you to the VIP list for a second free ticket. The number for that is also 801 299 9105. And for everyone who is here at the Real Vision Conference, thanks for joining the show. There's so much going on, so many classes, so many speakers. I think it was like over 50 speakers or 70 speakers?
At least, for sure, yeah.
So many people, and people that you've seen online that you want to, walk up to them and say hello. So it's been a real bonding, community building here today, and I'm glad to be here. Anything else you want to leave our viewers and listeners with, some words of advice, some insights that you've been mulling around in your head?
Keep watching Charlene's show. She's amazing. She somehow found me. She's such a great networker. She has a passion for the space, and you can tell just by that she genuinely cares and wants to have humanity grow in a good way. So I honor you for that. Thank you for having me on the show. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. And hopefully we can get some rewards. I think somebody mentioned they're starting it. Oh, yes. Bill Ty last night talked about launching a new platform that rewards you for good behavior. So hopefully you and I will get some bananas.
Kind of like Santa always wanted.
Yes, exactly. Now you can be on Santa's good list, not just for Christmas, all year long, and you can reap those rewards, whether it's your birthday, Christmas, Easter, all the holidays, anniversaries. But this has been a great time here. And speaking of good behaviors, if you are nice and you're good and you're a good listener, I will even give you a second link to another wallet that, but their promotion ends at the end of the year, December 31st, and they will give you $50 in Bitcoin. But I only give that out because I think it's not for U.S. citizens. So if you have a friend in a foreign country who wants to get some Bitcoin, there's a couple wallets out there giving away free Bitcoin. Some of these wallets are only for people in the U.S. or outside the U.S. Depends on the laws of your country. But there's cryptos available for everyone. So text me, 801-299-9105. This is Charlene, live on 99.1 FM. We will see you for the next episode. Go now and register for the Utah Bitcoin Conference.com. And also sign up for the class at Utah Valley University. That's coming up January, and you will get your yellow belt certificate or your black belt certificate if you are already in the crypto space. But you got to sign up now. Again, the number is 801-299-9105. Charlie, live on 99.1 FM, signing off for the moment.